this show. So just tell me why this show?
Oh, I've just been unconsciously staying away from television. It wasn't a conscious decision. Post Big Boss, everything that was being offered to me sounded so similar to the stuff that I've done before.
Yeah.
And that's just very limiting for an actor, especially when you've been around for as long as I've been around. If I start to do just everything that I've already done, the journey will just end. How do you explore new things? How do you improve? Um, and so I kept saying no, and the digital space offered me a lot of variety. And so in the last 2.5, 3 years, I've done 4 shows on the digital space, very different from what I usually do. I've done one big theatre production called Devdas, which required me to do Kathak, and well, it was Devdas, and I was playing Devdas. Um, and then suddenly this came up, and I had no doubt in my mind that I wanted to do this. A, this was so different in the journey, and B, it was so challenging because it's like playing two completely distinct roles in one part. And it's also a show that's not been seen before. And I'm not saying this because we're at the press conference and I'm trying to pitch the show. No, no. It's genuinely a show that you've not seen before. उसमें काफ़ी familiar elements हैं जो एक शो में होने चाहिए. फैमिली कैरेक्टर्स हैं, अच्छे रोल्स हैं, अच्छे मज़ेदार मोमेंट्स हैं, बहुत सारा रोमांस है, बहुत सारी कॉमेडी है और बहुत सारा एक्शन है. It's more like what you would expect from a Marvel franchise. It's more in that zone, that kind of entertainment, that kind of action. Something that I was shooting last week, I was 25 feet in the air for the whole action. The whole action was in the air. I'm running in the air. It's that zone. And that's not been done for sure. So watch it and let us know. I think you're going to like it.
Okay, my second question, do you think TV is a difficult medium where a male actor especially has to wait, to get the different role where he can explore himself as an actor?
Oh, yes. Most of the stories are, heroine-centric. There is a misconception that because the majority audience is women, that they should keep the protagonists as women. I've always felt that when the majority of the audience is women, you should have men because they would like that. The relatability, of course, for a woman's life or issue should be there in a show. But you should have good-looking men doing good stuff. They would like that. I'm sure they would. So, when a hero-centric show comes, it's an added bonus.
Okay, a bit backdrop about the show.
It's about this boy who's an orphan, and like I said, in that whole Marvel franchise kind of thing, it's a boy who's an orphan, uh, nobody to take care of him, and this clan of Aghoris take care of him, raise him, teach him everything. He stays away from the normal life. It's almost like Mowgli growing up with the wolves. And then he leaves that pack and comes to the city, discovers other people like him, and discovers the emotions that he's not experienced before. And it's a mazedar circumstance for somebody who doesn't know anything about emotions to go and woo a young girl. The young girl falls in love with him, and hey, there's a lot to store, lot of store.
Last question, every show is important for an actor. What are your expectations as an actor from this show?
I try and not think about that. The only thing I think about is for anybody who's watching, how can I make this worthy of his time or her time? For all the loyal fans, for people who write, I know them by names now because they've been writing for so many years. I know about where they live and what they do and what kind of people they are. I feel responsible about them for all the loyalty and the love that they've been sharing for so many years. So when they see something that I'm doing, I have to justify and make sure it lives up to their expectations. That's all that I can do. The rest of the success for the show and everything else depends on you guys. So watch it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.